Is it just me, or was Idris Elba's character kinda like Nick Fury in a sense? What up, y'all? It's the Black Critic Guy, and I just got back from seeing Pacific Rim. Seriously, every time I hear a trailer for Pacific Rim, it's always like, Rim. Hans Zimmer's gonna sue somebody. So the basic plot of Pacific Rim takes place in the future where these monsters from another dimension, referred to as Kaiju, a clever nod to the Kaiju genre of film back in the early 1950s in Japan, come to terrorize and destroy everything in their path. And so in response to their destruction, we create these giant mech robots known as Jaegers, and we kick their asses. It's all awesome. But as the years go on and the war continues, they start to learn our maneuvers, and now they found ways to counter it. And so in a Hail Mary pass, Nick Fury 2.0 gathers the remaining Jaegers to plan a counter-strike to end the threat once and for all. So as many of you know, I was really looking forward to this film. It was on my top 10 most anticipated films of the year, and I couldn't wait to see it. And so I was hoping that this film reached Evangelion proportions, although that is raising the bar a bit high, but I had faith that Pacific Rim could follow through. And so the film is finally here. What do I think? It really pains me that I had to say that line for Pacific Rim. Maybe it was my high expectations, or maybe because I was very tired today, but excuses aside, the film just comes up a bit short. But don't write this off as I didn't like the movie. There are a lot of enjoyable parts. First off, the action is fantastic. When the giant mechs are just throwing down with the monsters are some of the coolest scenes in this entire movie. And there were some scenes where I was on the edge of my seat. It was so exhilarating. Just seeing them just pummel on this gigantic monster was awesome. And going hand in hand with the action, the special effects were really good. They didn't look cheesy, they didn't look cartoonish, it was really polished, and it looked really awesome. And there were some okay performances and some interesting characters, but the best character and the best actor in this film is without a doubt Idris Elba. The guy owns it in this film. Yeah, he might have radiated some Nick Fury in his performance, but still, guy kicks ass. I loved his backstory. I love the bond that he shared with the Japanese girl. Very interesting, and I wanted that character, honestly, to be the main character, because our main character, although I don't hate him, he was kind of bland. And since I'm talking about the main character, let's get into some of the things I didn't like about the movie, starting off with the characters. I liked them, but all of them were very cliche, and most of them were very bland and generic. Starting off with our main character. His character just comes off as blah. I don't know whether it's because the script made him sound blah or the performance was very wooden, but the character comes off as blah. I mean, I really didn't relate to him or cared about him, but he is a badass. That guy is really proficient in martial arts. He takes down everybody in this film. It was awesome. But I wanted him to be more than just a badass. I wanted him to be a very interesting character who is a badass as well. And then we got the Japanese girl Mari, who's just a cliche Japanese character who's out to seek revenge for her family. And as for the performance, I really didn't buy it. It kind of felt forced. But then again, maybe it was the way that she was directed. It didn't give her much free range to do what she wanted with the character. It could be that. And as for her and Riley's relationship, it felt very forced. I never felt a connection. I never felt like they clicked or bonded, which is a big problem because the only way to work these Jaeger suits is you need to have someone that you're compatible with, and I didn't feel like they were compatible at all. And as for the other characters, they're just the basic cliche characters in an action movie. To list them all would take too long, and I don't want to get into all of them. And okay, I gotta talk about this. Charlie Day's character. Now, I don't hate Charlie Day. I find him funny in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. His character works for that show. But in this movie, Charlie Day kind of just feels out of place, and his comedy doesn't fit at all. It just basically felt like he was playing the same character in this movie that he plays in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's just this time he's a scientist. And like I said, it just kind of feels out of place and unnecessary. And the relationship and bickering between this other scientist was so damn annoying. It wasn't even funny anymore. It just really annoyed me. It just piled on a lot of cheese in this movie that didn't need to be there whatsoever. The story, just like the characters, is bland and cliche. And I really felt like they should have extended the beginning a little longer. Although the exposition was fine, it just felt like it was being rushed. Like, oh, here's all the backstory and now let's get into the story. I was really hoping that this movie could pull off an Evangelion where they can balance awesome action scenes with some great character development. But at the end of the day, it comes off as a Transformers movie where there's some amazing action scenes scenes, but the development's kind of weak and shallow. I hate that I compared it to Transformers, but that's really how it felt, guys. And going along with the writing, they took some major elements and scenes from other movies, just adding on to the clichéness that this movie has been displaying. I mean, I shit you not, the ending of this movie is identical to the ending of a movie that came out in the 90s. I can't tell you what it is because it gives away the ending, but I will say this, it was a Roland Emmerich film, and when I saw it, I was just like, my god, that is either a blatant ripoff or you tried to just emulate that ending. So overall, guys, as much as it pains me to say this, I was very let down by Pacific Rim. I wanted it to be an awesome movie with some great character development and awesome action scenes. But at the end of the day, it just comes off as a cliche and generic movie with the mecha paint job. But that's not to say that I didn't like anything in this film. The robot throwdowns were awesome to watch. The special effects were really good, and Idris Elba is always awesome. And for those reasons alone, I push this film up to a 3 out of 5 stars. It's okay. I don't really recommend seeing this at night. I recommend watching this at matinee price. If you go into this movie not looking for anything deep and just to see the awesome throwdowns, then I think you're gonna have a good time with it. But if you require a little more focus on character development, then you might be a little let down by this movie, especially for fans of the mecha genre of anime and the Kaiju genre. But I'm not the end-all be-all opinion for this movie. I would like to know what you guys thought of this movie. Did you like it a lot? Or did you agree with me and felt like it was just cliche and generic and really didn't have anything special besides the action scenes? And let me know, what is your favorite mecha anything? Mecha anime, mecha movie, whatever it is, comment below, let me know. And until then, guys, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Black Critic Guy. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Water II from the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.